please read this disclaimer carefully before proceeding further. Welcome again, traders, to analysis of DXY dollar index. My name is Vic. Let's look at what has been happening in dollar. If you remember, if you have been following my analysis since last year, I have been saying that from 89.89 the dollar was going to go higher. If you trust media, blogs and other places, they have been saying that dollar is doomed and it is going to go down to 87 level, and some of those guys were saying that it could even fall to 70s as well because of money printing and a stimulus and whatnot. See, what you need to do is you need to just see the charts and look at the data for yourself, because charts never lie, and they can help you in making the best of the decisions yourself. But for that you need to learn how to speak the language of the markets. You need to learn how to analyze the charts. You cannot depend on somebody else's all the time, going through all the media, blogs and other places to find the analysis for yourself. What you need to do is just find the consistency, learn yourself to speak the language of the market and do it. So let me actually show you what we have been looking at, because we haven't actually revised that for a long time now. So let's see what the dollar has been saying. Okay, I'm going to simply remove this indicator. We do not need to use any kind of indicator to start our analysis. Right, so what we have right now is, if you look at multi-year time frame on dollar index, right, so this is the structure that the market has been following, right? Okay, and if that is the structure, then what you need to see is that whether it is creating any identifiable pattern or not. And this is obviously creating a W pattern. And if I show you what it actually looks like, let me change the color so that it shows up better. So this is the midpoint of that W pattern, somewhere around here, then falls down and it went up. Now if you find the midpoint, then you will know, if you know how to read these FCP WNM patterns, then you know that this is not going to end here, this is not going to end here, this is going to end somewhere around here. Okay, so it's quite possible that market can actually go there and in fact go even higher if it turns into an extended one. That means the dollar is not dying as of now, but market can do anything, so there has to be another side of it, there has to be another side of the coin. So if that is the case, then let's see how can it die, how can it actually fall so deep down that it probably won't even recover from that level, so you see the market is creating an M pattern, and unless this midpoint has been broken, then you cannot say that the dollar is going to go down. And this midpoint is a very important midpoint, because this is also confluencing with previous structure here. So what do you expect? You expect market to at least show some kind of support here and then go back up. So unless that is broken, you cannot say that this was going to go down to 84 or 70s or whatever, right? Whatnot that media has been portraying. So this is the level which is very, very important, and this is what we have been looking at. Now there have been few levels here. One was around here, okay, which gave us very good momentum upwards. That was a corrective move. Then market fell down, and now this is another corrective move. So far we are still in correction mode, okay, but also look at another point here. Let me zoom in now. Just look at another point which I have mentioned several times before, that market is simply in consolidation at the moment. It's running inside a channel, and if that is the case, then the midpoint is also very, very important, and that midpoint is somewhere around here. So the market may come somewhere around here. This is the previous structure here, and this can be the mid zone. Okay, if you want to keep things little grayish in this area. So this is what we can expect. However, it may or may not go almost straight away like that. It has taken few months, and it can take its own time, because market has its own beat, it has its own rhythm. It doesn't always work in one direction and then starts to work in another direction. It needs to go through ups and downs, retest, fake outs and stop loss collections and all of that, right? Okay, now if you also think if you are new here and if you haven't actually heard me talking about this, then think about this. If this have been saying that the dollar has been bearish, right, it has been going down, it is dying, then what was this? Okay, this wasn't dying. And if you think that this move was very bearish for dollar, then this is nothing as compared to previous one, because this is obviously smaller than the previous one. And if you think that these two moves on dollar are bearish, then what was this? Compare that to this one. See, charts never lie. They're telling you exactly what has happened and what is happening right now, right? So if everybody is saying that, the dollar is going down, it is dying, they're probably not right, because if you see, this sort of move has happened before, and even bigger moves have happened before, not so long ago, right? Just few years ago. That means that what you should do is just rely on the charts and see it for yourself. So dollar is in corrective structure right now. So at some point in time, this is what I've been saying, like, at some point in time this was going to go and create a bearish candle or something like that. So far it hasn't happened in March, but we still have few days left in March, so it can happen here. Otherwise, like, it is going to form, like, some kind of corrective structure and then probably go back up. So these are the possibilities that we can have. Let's see on weekly time frame. Okay, the market is probably going to, because it hasn't so far it hasn't created any, like, proper downward corrective structure. So what we see is that probably it is going to do something like this, and if that is broken, you see what is coming. Now for this to happen, this right shoulder on inverse head and shoulders can go all the way down to, like, this previous head as well, because that will still be valid. But usually this stays within, like, 61.8% of the previous move. So this is where the, like, things will start to get complicated if it starts to go back down to that level. For now, this is still going higher, and it can, like, have some corrective structure to create this right shoulder here. Okay, so that's what we have, like, overall. So that's not very specific. Most of the traders, they actually, like, do analysis like this, like, what I've just told you, like, but that is not specific. You cannot trade based on that. You need to have a plan. So let's bring in the real analysis. So this is what we have been following, right? Okay, so all of these levels have been really good. Remember these two yellows, they gave us very good opportunities. This was our FCP zone, which we have been tracking since 89.89 level. It has not been able to break through that. There have been several tests, several fake outs, but it has not been able to break through that. And this level was identified in last August or September 2020, and since then it has been, like, going very well. It came to this FCP zone, fell down, went back into upper FCP zone, fell down, which was expected. Now it came back into this FCP zone, and it has been going up. So next level is going to be around 92.953. This level was identified a long time ago. Now if I go to the daily time frame, I said, like, in the last week, or I think the midweek analysis, that if the market closes beyond this FCP zone and if you get a retest, then you can go long. Until then you cannot. There is a W pattern appearing right now. That means at some point in time this is going to perform a downward move, and that's will be, like, that can actually give us a very good short opportunities. But you see, dollar can still be bullish. So remember that we can play both sides. Okay, if you are looking for a long, then wait for a retest, like, for a, like, corrective move, and then go for a long. If you're looking for a short, wait for a confirmation and go short. Okay, so this is what we have. We are going to reanalyze some of this. Now let me show you another perspective of this, which I've been showing you for some time. This is another perspective of this. There's, like, this triangle which has broken out, and I've already been, like, talking about this since we were here. The market came down into this FCP zone and then started to go back up. You see what we have a W pattern here, and if I draw fib on it, you will see that it has come right into a particular zone and level which is confluencing with fib levels as well. So this can actually give us a good correction to the downside. And remember, on higher time frame, this is also a corrective move, so that new correction will be correction on this correction right now. Okay, now if I show you another thing which is going to actually make more sense now, is show you the Vata. So on Vata and Visage, if I go to Let me go to the monthly time frame first, and monthly time frame is already showing a bullish sign here. Let's see how this month actually ends. It is turning bullish right now, and that means that market is expected to go even higher in coming months. And if that is the case, then it is expected to come to this water curve here, which is near about 95.178. Overall, this is turning bearish. The color has changed, so that's why I'm still saying this is a corrective move, but it can still come to 95 or so in few months time. But until it reaches there, it can actually have a little bit of correction moves. As I said, market has its own rhythm, its own beat, so it will come back down, up, go back up, but ultimately it is expected to reach near about 95 or so. Okay, so that's why I'm bullish on dollar, and I've been bullish since here, from this level or so. Okay, now let's look at the weekly time frame. On weekly time frame, the dollar gave us very good signal here to buy, which it obviously has reached. Now it is reaching its second profit target, which is near about 93 level or so, where the water curve is. Remember, water curve acts as support and resistance as well. Whenever the market comes there, it starts to fall back down, or at least shows some kind of reaction there. So this is going to be the level, and that very well coincides with what we identified here nicely here, right? So this is what the level is. The market opened the lower, and this is looking like a bearish harami already, so the market may go back up a little bit and then start to fall back down. So this is looking like a bearish move on dollar. Looks like that, but if you want to trade in either direction, you must wait for a confirmation. Let's go back on VATA once again and look at the daily time frame. On daily time frame, it can go back up into 93.074 because we already have an open signal. Everything is blue right now, so that means this is going to be near about the target. And if I put a line here right at this level, and if I go to the weekly time frame, you see that coincides nicely with the water curve as well. So this is how it is going to work on DXY. So that's what we are looking for. And remember, we are reaching a level where the market can fall down, and all of these levels can also act as support and resistance. So I'm not going to revise that. I think I'll revise that once a new structure has formed, then I will revise maybe midweek or maybe next week. And remember, we are approaching the month end and the quarter end. A lot of things are going to change because the quarter end is here, and this 2021 can actually can manifest itself as a corrective move on nearly all the markets. So you have to be extra careful, especially in last few days of this March and start of April. Not because of month end, it's also because of the first quarter end of 2021. So you have to be extra careful. If you're in doubt, get out and stay out. All right, so if you found this useful, if you found this educational, I spend a lot of effort and I give all this analysis for free to you guys, so make sure that you support this channel to keep this analysis coming. And in the comment section, let me know what is your opinion, what is your thoughts on this analysis, and hit the like button and share it with other traders, because more you share, better it will be. You help out other traders by sharing the content, you help me as well, and you express your gratitude and support to this channel as well. So I'll see you in the next one, and thank you for all your support. If you're interested in learning how to analyze the markets the way I do using Fibonacci Confluence, then head over to Vikinsa.com, and under training section you'll be able to see Core Strategy Training Program. On this page you'll be able to see the testimonials of previous students and also look at the brochure. The brochure has a lot more information, including the course structure and the Fibonacci Confluence Training Program curriculum. This is a very extensive program in which we cover basic core Fibonacci concepts along with the advanced concepts to analyze the markets with high probability. If you're interested in joining this program, come to Vikinsa.com, and under training section you'll be able to see and submit this form.